touched it. Never mind. Yeah, that's an error. That's an E4. Yeah. Is this Alexis again? 26?
Number 26, Alexis Evans.
No.
I just don't understand why that's good. I don't get it.
She definitely. I thought she definitely touched that bag, maybe, but okay.
She didn't.
But no,
She
but
caught it off the
Try
bag and then
talking
threw
just
it
so
to
I can
first
say
base, and
talking.
they tried to throw it back.
No, bro.
Oh.
Hi, folks. We're here at the top of the third inning.
Shortstop definitely tagged it after she messed that up.
Catherine Polanka up for the first bat of the day as the Rochester College is up 1-0 right now after a solo shot by second baseman Evans. And right now, Bolt in a little bit of trouble with one runner in scoring position and one on first. And Amos walking runner at second base back onto second base.
Make sure I say the ending whenever change.
Let me know why you keep saying my name. I just want to know. You just got salty.
Count 1-2 right now.
I really do like you like that.
As Alexis Evans, the home run hitter, currently up the bat as we're at the top of the order. And that's a swing and a miss. And strikeout. That being Bolt's fourth of the day. And we're sorry if you're just joining us, folks, or you have been continuously watching. We were having some audio difficulties and had to reset the system in order to get back on the broadcast. But we're up and ready to go. As I said a little bit ago, Rochester College is up 1-0 with a solo shot early in the first. At the first bat of the game. And up to bat is number 5, Autumn Dobrik. Dobrik trying to go for the bunt to advance the batters. Can't do it. Counts right now is 0-1 with one out. Amos able to get that and pop up real quick, trying to keep that runner on second. That runner being Allie Brookman, currently on second. Counts down 1-1.
Take him 36 credits to finish in the NBA.
This being hit, pop up to second. And that being the second out.
Yeah, it's not like if you don't have a business, like if you don't have a business degree, like I don't think Joe had a business degree. I think Joe had a sports and rec degree. So it's totally different. So it doesn't cover.
Off the bat, number 20, Lauren Donaldson, the freshman catcher, popped out first in her first at bat today, trying to find that hit. As Rochester is threatening right now, and this one's up in the air and up and over and into the fans. Ooh, that feels good. And it's balmy 51 degrees out today as the wind is blowing hard from left field into right. Counts 1-1 with 2 outs. And that's up in the air and into the student section, and the fan caught that with bare hand. And both those balls getting thrown back into the stand because now Donaldson still trying to get out of the hole. She's 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 runners on base right now. That being ball 2. Donaldson tries to stretch this a bit.
Most if not all those prerequisites you don't have to take. Go to the LTU interview.
This one
It was directly to, it was,
caught.
yeah.
And quick out for the Devils as they get out of that inning with a little bit trouble on base. But score still 1-0 Rochester as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. And we'll be back with LTSN.
I was gonna say I'll just mute you instead of going.
And we're back at the bottom of the 3rd with Jackie Mattingly, center fielder, up for her first at bat today. And that ball going to be high. Rochester pitcher Foy hasn't really struck anybody out today, but has got the Blue Devils to pop out. Just about anything else but strike out today. With Malberg and Bolt both being the single hits today for the Blue Devils. And one of those being an error. And Jackie striking out. Giving Foy her 4th strikeout for today.
Number 5, CJ Bannis.
And the strong senior right outfielder, CJ Bannis, up for her first at bat today. CJ going for the slapper style batting stance this time up.
No, I didn't do any of these. They had other courses in which counted towards
Count 1-1.
project management that were like HR related.
With one out, with both the first baseman and the third baseman creeping up. And CJ able to, and the shortstop able to catch that pop up.
11.
And back up to the top of the order, Sarah Hinge. Who's able to get the first on an error. But then got caught stealing at second early in the first.
Those leadership's just padding. Sally.
Hey, Andrew, didn't Bolt get on with a hit?
I don't know. She didn't look at. She just looked at the stat thing.
Because we only got one hit, one error out there.
We have one. Give me a second. Was that a ball not?
Yeah, and just conferring with our stat crew here, we do have 2 hits on the day with Hinge.
We have 2 hits, one.
With Hinge and Malberg. Or Whelan getting the hits. And Hinge using her speed to get on bag again, going 2 for 2 so far on the day.
Number 8, Katie Seister.
Now Seister, up her second at bat of the day, lined out in her first at bat, but had good power off the ball. Still 1-0, bottom of the third. As we're looking at 2 outs, and Seister able to line that into the left field and gets on with a single. Now Meredith Adam up.
Number 13, Meredith Adams.
Now Rochester having a team meeting at the pitcher mound around Foy, trying to figure out how to pitch around Meredith Adams.
That is my friend.
It's Friday night. Feels alright.
And count 1-1 on Adams against Foy. Her first at bat, she had a fly out to right center. Meredith staying alive, able to get just the tip of the bat on that one. Count 1-2. And Adams sending that over to shortstop, and that's out number 3 of the bottom of the third. And as we go into the top of the fourth, Rochester still holding a very tight 1-0 lead. And we'll be back with LTSN. And we're back as the designated hitter, Ivory Mamo, comes up. In her first at bat, she struck out. Now she's looking to see if she could add on to the Rochester College lead in the top of the fourth. Bolt's first pitch at the top of the fourth is going to be a ball. Strike. Clipping that outside line on the strike zone. And Mamo tipping that one up. And Bolt, one of the better pitchers so far in the NAIA, is ranking second in total runs run with 4, and second again in total runs allowed with 6. This count goes 2-2 on Ivory Mamo. And that being Bolt's 5th strikeout of the game.
Number 18, Mackenzie Muncie.
Muncie getting a hit in her first at bat. Try to add on to that total. As being one of the 3 solo hits so far today. And Muncie just getting a piece of that and tipping that up into the umpire's chest. Now Bolt holding the best ERA in the WAC conference with a .69 so far this season. Blue Devils are coming in this game so far today in conference play is 2-2 with getting their last win against Cleary in an 8-0 Mercy, and then splitting that series, losing the first game 3-8. Muncie 1-2 right now. Pops that right back up to Bolt, who catches it, throws it over to Meredith Adams for an easy second out.
Number 9, Michaela Smoller.
Smoller comes up to bat, striking out in her first one. Trying to change her luck so far today. She's looking over the head coach down on the third baseline, getting her instructions. And Smoller tipping that one up and over catcher Amos. And Amos trying to frame that up, but no dice. Count 1-2 right now with 2 outs in the top of the fourth. And Bolt gets her 6th strikeout so far today as Smoller goes down swinging. And going to the bottom of the fourth, the strikeout queen, Brittany Bolt, trying to get her second hit of the day. As she so far has a really good hitting forms going on, and that being fouled up in the stands. A little late on the swing there was Bolt. This Foy only looking at one strikeout so far.
Are they true? Are you sure?
This Foy being the workhorse so far for Rochester so far this year, as Bolt rounds out the second. Now up to bat is number 17. It's Andrew Malberg, who lined out to the pitcher in her first at bat today. But to go into a little more detail, and Rochester's pitcher, Foy, seen 194 at bats this year, has 35 earned runs and 11 walks so far this season with 9 strikeouts, and getting to double digits today with their 1 strikeout so far this season. Foy and Malberg able to get that in just over top of the second, getting her first hit of the day. Now shortstop number 22, Brittany Wheeling, coming up, able to get on base due to an error in her first at bat. Now coming in to run for Andrew Malberg is number 4, Bailey Brown. Coach Barrett trying to add a little speed, more speed on the bases with Bailey Brown. And Whelan getting the late foul chance as she's getting an extra life here. So far in the count, 0-1 with 1 out. Whelan able to pop that through the shortstop and the third baseman. Get that ball into left field as she gets on base for another hit.
Number 1, Alex Amos.
Now catcher Alex Amos. Up to bat, seeing if she can get Bailey Brown over to third. Advance the runners, trying to at least get 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. And Amos' first at bat, she grounded out. Let's see if she can get on base and extend this hit streak for the Blue Devils. Amos popping that up to short with Brown and Whelan both able to get back to the bag. Now Jackie Mattingly back up. See if she can do something with Bailey Brown and scoring position, sitting at second. That ball ended up going foul.
I think we're gonna take a bike, each of us. Take a bike? How much does it cost? Don't know. Put on the card, and that's how we'll get to where we're gonna go eat. Take a bike. He's not a big fan.
As Jackie tips us back to go 1-2 in the count. Still bottom of the fourth. As Rochester still up 1-0. As Blue Devils still not able to convert off the 6 hits so far today. And Jackie able to get this one up. And nice catch out there in center field by Smoller. And at the bottom of the fourth, still 1-0. Now as we go to the top of the fifth, we'll be back with LTSN.
The basketball court's gonna be closed. I mean, like the whole center is gonna be closed.
Seister not able to get to that ball as that ball ends up falling.
I'm being serious. Dead ass. For work. Alright, bet. There's 22.
Yeah.
Number 22, Allie Brookman.
We got a pinch runner coming in for her. Number 1, I believe that is. Joanne Biden? Biden?
Yep. Biden, no?
As number 1 comes in for Foy, Janae Bidden, the sophomore pitcher from Troy, coming in, try and get a little speed on the bases for Rochester. As Brookman trying to bunt that, ends up sending it foul. And the fan couldn't get it over the fence. Brookman stepping back into the box with an 0-1 count. Has Bidden overstepping the bag, not thinking that Bolt was going to be able to get there. And Meredith. Sorry, Bolt not making that play. Meredith Adams making that play, able to get it over to the second baseman, Hidge. Bidden able to advance over to second. Almost not able to get back. Now, right fielder Plonka at bat. That ball coming up high and inside on Plonka. And Plonka sending that over to left field. Seister able to keep it in. Able to keep Biden on second. Plonka able to get a single off that hit. Now off the bat, number 26, the home run hitter, Alexis Evan, scoring that solo shot in the first at bat of the first inning. No. Evans had the home run. I thought. We can wait until after that. In between the innings.
Hey, I'm going first in that class. I'm going to get up there. I'm going to talk. And I'm going to be done with the class. Yeah, you. And she's going to be like, Ty, where do you think you're going? Home. Get your ass back here. I literally got 32 days to complete this. So I'm already about to be done with it.
Is it gonna be perfect or is it gonna be half-assed?
You get 25 points if you just go through them quick.
What?
Like literally, watch it, like you quick practice.
And Evans looking at a 2-1 count with one out. Bolt facing a similar situation she faced in the third inning. This is going to be sent over to the shortstop. Whelan not able to hold that down. Thrown it into home. And Amos not able to get that as Rochester scoring a run.
That was an error. That wasn't an error. That wasn't an error.
And the Warriors up 2-0 so far.
It wasn't an error. She went to extreme measures to get it.
How was that extreme measures?
Except for Jay said she did it.
And
No, number 6 wasn't
Oh, no, that was.
an error.
That throw, Amos dropped it.
It was an error.
So Amos error.
She was on her knees, though.
What? Doesn't matter.
That's not extreme? No.
She's a catcher. Just put a hit. Third round.
And as the Blue Devils are done conferring about it, trying to figure out a strategy how to attack this with two runners in scoring position with one out.
Number 5, Autumn Dobrik.
Stobrick goes for the bunt. And Amos dropping that ball too. He goes for second.
Oh, we got a run down here. So,
And a rundown going down in between first and second. And Whelan able to get that.
who did all that? It's you or just one person scored? One person scored. Two people came across the. Two people came across. I don't know.
as Plonka and Evans both able to score on that. With Dobrik being caught in between first and second, trying to steal, and Whelan able to run her down. And this one's up in the air towards left field. Seister under it, able to get it. That being the third out, and the Blue Devils able to get out of this inning. After 3 Warrior runs are scored, with Rochester being up 4-0 at the top of the 5th. And as we go into the bottom of the 5th, we'll be back with LTSN. Into the bottom of the 5th. Right fielder CJ Banis going for the bunt. And that being foul. That's cute. And Foy able to get CJ on that. CJ looking at a 1-2 count, trying to bunt to get herself on base. And CJ not bunting off that one. So up swinging and stays alive with that foul tip. Count still 1-2. In her first at bat, she popped out to the shortstop. See if she can change that today. And that one coming inside. Ball 2. And CJ able to get that over to the right field. Able to get an infield single off that one.
Number 11, Sarah Hyde.
Now, sorry for the mispronunciation earlier on the broadcast. Sarah Hyde up to bat. Two hits so far today in that leadoff position. Hyde also has the same batting style as her senior CJ Banis with the slapping style. Batting stance. 1-1 so far in the count in the bottom of the 5th with one woman on. Foy still looking for that second strikeout of the day. Can't find it. And CJ going on to her total steals for the year. And on to her lead over Hyde in the Ball in the Dirt Club with 7 steals.
You remember that one time we went to Nashville? It was like a group, and we couldn't drink.
And Hyde's able to get over the first, and CJ able to get over the third. Now, there's 2 runners on in the corner. Katie Seister up to bat. Plonka, her first one. Now Coach Baird bringing them over. Have a team conference since Foy. Having a little bit of trouble here in the bottom of the 5th. As the first 2 runners on. And as Coach Sharpley is trying to talk to her team, figure out how to get out of this inning with no run scored as they're up 4-0 on your Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. Foy looking at her wrist, trying to figure out how to pitch around Seister. And Seister puts that down on the ground. And able to get a run in is Seister for an RBI. Blue Devils are finally on the board.
Number 13, Meredith Adams.
Meredith Adams up. 1 run on. She sends that to center field. Going, hits the back wall. Out Seister getting on her high horse, trying to score. And able to get on, and now the Blue Devils able to get 1 in. Out Blue Devils only down 4-2. With Meredith Adams getting a double. That being her 6th of the year. Now Brittany Bolt back up, and she sends this to left center and absolutely crushes it. Hitting the back fence just under. Getting a double. That being Bolt's first double of the year. And the fence is absolutely robbing her of her first home run of the year, too. Now Blue Devils only down 4-3 as Malberg is up to bat with 2 outs to spare. And Malberg pops us out to first.
Number 22, Brittany Wheelan.
Now Brittany Wheelan coming back up. And Wheelan takes this one right down the pipe. And Wheelan popping that out. Into foul territory with the third baseman able to get that.
You're not smiling enough, boys. You're not smiling enough. Smile more. FF5. Smile.
Now, going to the top of 6, the Blue Devils only down 4-3 after a very productive 5th inning. And we'll be back at the top of the 6th with LTSN. Ivory Amo back up the bat for a third at bat of the day, striking out twice so far. As Rochester now clinging on to a 1-run
That was a ball.
lead again. So this one is up into the stands.
It's okay, Ty. I think they got it.
Wow, good for you. Throw that back over that fence, though, homie.
Now Bolt throwing this one down. That one going high and outside as Memo. Just looking at a 2-2. Count so far. Really, this one going over to Malberg. Throws it over to Meredith for the first out of the inning.
Number 18, Mackenzie Muncie.
And new catcher in.
Wait.
Katie Kubiak is now in instead of Alex Amos.
I told you there were some changes. Couldn't tell you what they were, but there were changes.
It wasn't true.
I don't know where they went.
That's a strike.
And Muncie looking at a cold strike.
I think I hit the strike.
Strike.
Ball.
And getting a cold strike too as Muncie is Bolt. Catching her groove here in the top of the 6th.
Does anybody know the song I'm Every Woman?
Nope.
And Bolt throwing her first ball of the inning.
Yeah, I think I'm going to shave my beard, and then I think I'm going to shave my head, too. Wow.
And Bolt getting her 7th strikeout so far of the day. As Muncie goes down swinging.
Number 9, Michaela Smoller.
Now Smoller up the bat. Going 0 for 2 so far today.
Ty, if you shave your head, I'll shave mine. And then I'm going to get a tattoo on my top of my head. A star. It's going to say 5-star star.
Yeah.
Just like Bird.
Count 1-0 so far.
Teardrops.
As the Blue Devils are really starting to gain momentum in the later innings of this game.
Ball again.
Discrimination with tattoos.
2-0 count so far. And this one going to left field. Seister under it. And caught for the 3rd out of the inning. And we'll be back with LTSN in the bottom of the 6th. And as we go into the bottom of the 6th, Katie Kubiak, the hero of the game against Cleary in the second game, going 3 for 3 with 5 RBIs and scoring 1 herself in her first conference game of the year. Let's see if she can continue that momentum into today for her second conference game of the year. And Kubiak able to continue that hit streak, and she's going 4 for 4 so far in conference play.
Good to know that start.
Number 21, Kennedy Eamon.
And Jackie Mattingly.
Number 3, Jackie Mattingly.
Jackie Mattingly up to bat. Not able to find the ball that well today with 2 lineouts and a strikeout so far today. And the Blue Devils still down 4 to 3 with Kubiak on first. And that being bunted foul. Foy still in, going into the bottom of the 6th. Had a good day so far, keeping the Blue Devils at bay. And Jackie able to get that over. Going to take one for the team, but gets Kubiak into scoring position. Now up to bat, Kennedy Eamons coming into the game. In the second game, Kennedy was able to get hits in her 3rd and 4th at bat into the game and help add on to that 8-0 mercy against Cleary. And the 4th conference game for the Blue Devils. And Emmons looking at ball 1. And Emmons looking at ball. Looking at strike 1. That could be been a questionable ball there on the outside of the strike zone for Emmons. And Emmons able to get onto that one. Has a chance to get there and does. And Kubiak getting caught at home. And Kubiak and Baird having words there on what happened with that at bat. But Emmons able to get her first hit of the day in her first at bat.
How was Kubiak out? Do you remember who sent it to the country?
Garland first. 3-2.
Thank you.
You need one more?
Now Hyde's back up to bat. Hyde swinging a miss there. Looking at a 1-1 count. And Hyde sending one foul right.
I need to go to the gun range, bro.
You're not wrong. Thank you for that.
114.
That's a new burner I want to try.
Got this new burner. I don't think the point of the burner is to be trying it out. I think it's supposed to, you're using it and then you throw it in the trash.
No, burner is a
I
rock.
can even more just.
I got a new Glock.
As Hyde's looking
That's cute.
1 for 3 today.
What do you need that for?
And
Posture out.
Foy
Can you hear me?
getting her second strikeout day against Hyde. And as we go into the top of the 7th and the final inning, let's see if the Blue Devils can get a walk-off win here and keep the Rochester Warriors at bay for one more inning. We'll be back with the top of the 7th with LTSN.
Are you ready to start the stream?
And going to the top of the 2nd, the pitcher,
Your shift next.
Foy, up to bat.
Yeah.
Coming off a little momentum with their second strikeout of the game for that final out of bottom of the 6th. And as the Rochester Warriors cling on to a 4-3 lead over the Blue Devils.
Okay, good. So then just
Brittany Bolt's trying to pitch her down with the 2-1 count so far right now. The pitcher-to-pitcher duel so far
cue or start the last 4 digits or
with Bolt seeing the better of that. As Foy sends that to right field, and that's a fly out.
There we go. He's performing at Midnight Madness next year.
As that's caught by Emmons.
22. Up to bat, number 22.
As Emmons takes over for CJ Banis.
Yeah. So then on YouTube.
Brookman up to bat.
So then Facebook we could just post it later.
Why is it sometimes when I tell you things that you know what I said, you keep going, what?
Yeah.
You're talking how you doing this game too. What?
So you should be on
heard
good.
That's what I'm saying. What do you mean by I'm doing this game too?
Brookman
Hey, congrats.
getting a cold strike on that.
So you hit 2. Then said
Congrats on your,
start
Hey,
2.
what's
And then it
taking
said
over?
close.
Stuff and everything.
And then don't forget to
Derek,
record.
you taking over? Oh.
As Brookman 0-2 so far.
Damn, Derek.
114. What happened here? Hit the ball.
And that one getting sent to the back fence as Brookman trying to go for a double. And gets there standing up.
On to bat now, number 13, Hannah McClellan.
As number 3, Hannah McClellan comes up to bat. Number 13, the sophomore pitcher from Clarkston, Michigan.
Yeah, I know. Also, big, huge fan right here. You're the #1 supporter.
And as one of the student workers, senior Austin Fulmer, the hockey team, also being a Clarkston native.
I've been to Clarkston one time. It's all right. Yeah.
That boy got the juice.
Who got the juice? He'd been born with the juice. And he got the sauce. I have like always juice. Gator doesn't really count as juice, but he's got that Clarkston money.
And that going to left center. That's going deep. That hitting the fence too. And the Clarkston native, McClellan, getting her double. It's back-to-back doubles on Bolt. That being McClellan's first double on the year. Brookman also getting her first double of the year. Both those double shots, and McClellan getting taken off second for pinch runner for number 4. Sorry, folks. Brittany Risinger, the junior pitcher from Howell, Michigan. Sorry, folks. I was told the wrong number. It's number 3, Catherine Polanco, the freshman utility player from St. Clair, Michigan. As the home run hitter, Alexis Evans, facing a 2-0 count. And Coach Baird coming in to talk to Bolt. And the wind's blowing real hard, coming from right field over to the left field. Coach Baird coming back after the team conference with Bolt, trying to give her pitcher a little bit of confidence going in to this at bat. And Bolt able to get a strike off that one. Looking at 2-1 count now against Alexis Evans. She tries to hold the Warrior gain here in the top of the 7th. And Evans strikes out swinging. That being Bolt's 8th strikeout of the game so far today.
Number 5, Dobrik.
Now Dobrik up. Dobrik getting caught stealing early in the game. Changed that 5th inning for the Warriors.
He does all the time. People look at one. We didn't even know what second athletics. Already had it. That's what I always hear. I heard Rochester was a hockey team. You guys have a hockey team? That's what I hear. Yeah, a little bit, kind of. Who do you guys play? Well, like Michigan, Kentucky. We used to play Duke and Kentucky and St. John and all that basketball. I don't know why we don't honor that. Like, I don't know why we don't have that up somewhere. Of those teams that we beat. No.
You trying to start off the season getting blasted.
Bolt up with the 1-2 count and strikes her out. And Dobrik. And another strikeout is Bolt getting her 9th strikeout of the day and able to get out of that inning with a little bit of momentum. Now the Blue Devils going to try and claw back into the lead as they're down 5-3 going into the bottom of the 7th. And as we go into the bottom of the 7th, we'll be back with LTSN. And leading off the inning, Katie Seister, who tries to get this Blue Devil team back into the lead. Try to get a leadoff hit in the bottom of the 7th. And as we get into the bottom 7th, it is rally cap time, Blue Devil Nation. So if you're at home or watching at the game or just listening on your at school, put your rally caps on and throw some support for these Blue Devil. For this Blue Devil team is Seister. Grounds out to the pitcher for the first out of the inning. Now up to bat is Meredith Adams, the first baseman, who did have her double in the last at bat that went deep into center field, folks. Let's see if she can get a little more power and get her over that green wall in center field. Now Coach Baird talking to the umpire. Not really sure to what this involves. But Meredith up in the count so far right now. 1-0. That being low and inside. As Foy now having a 2-0 count against Meredith Adams. Three and 0. This Meredith Adams still up in the count now. She tries to get on base. And ump calling a late strike there. Meredith Adams thought she had the walk. Brittany Bold up to bat next. Eyeing down Foy from the batter's box. And Meredith Adams able to pop that over the second base, right in the gap into center field. And on base with a single as Bolt's up.
Number 16, Brittany Bolt.
Adams able to go 2 for 4 on the day. With a single and a double. Now checking in, number 23, Gina Barber. The sophomore from Canton, Michigan. Definitely some speed, trying to get some speed around the bases as the Blue Devils still down 5-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Warriors leaving a huge gap in between the short second. And Bolt able to put that into shallow right center. As Gina overrunning second base there for a little bit. And able to jump back onto second. Bolt able to go 3 for 4 so far today. Pulling double duty with 9 strikeouts and 3 hits. Now Malberg up, who popped out her last at bat. Now going to try and get Gina and Bolt home. And Andra able to send that to left center. It's being sent home. Gina getting tagged out at the plate for the second out of the bottom of the 7th.
Number 22, Brittany Whelan.
Number 22, Brittany Whelan. Coach Baird might be talking about how the catcher got in the base lane there a little bit before the throw, forcing Gina Barber to take a very wide stance at the base, or a wide run towards the home plate there. Now the main umpire going towards second, going to confer. Coach Baird trying to get an interference call on the Warriors catcher. And second base umpire confirming the out. Now Whelan up to bat. He's went 1 for 2 so far in the day, getting on early in the first inning with an error. And a hit, then a pop out in her last at bat. Out to 1 out left and 2 on. Brittany Whelan gonna try and do something here. And swinging for the fences, that one's tipped back. Whelan being probably having one of the biggest hearts on the team, is she's super hard on herself after every game and every at bat. Now Baird, Coach Baird, sending in number 7, Sydney Schultz, for what I thought she was sending in. As Whelan 1-1 in the count. And that being tipped off the inner part of the bat. Now the count 1-2 on Whelan. And Whelan able to tip that off to stay alive. 1-2 with 1 out left in the bottom of the 7th. 2 women on as the Warriors now with a 2-run lead. Whelan letting that one go as both runners advance to second, third. Now 2 runners in scoring position. Yes, that was the ball. And with the wild pitch, 2 stolen bases. Now Whelan looking at a 2-2 count with 2 runners in scoring position. And Whelan sending that down the line. Foul. Whelan stretching this at bat out with the 2-2 count. Foy looking to her coach for a little bit of advice and how to pitch. Now looking down her wristband, Foy sends up for the windup. And that able to get through. 1 run in. Now Malberg gets over to third. And Whelan able to get a hit. Gets a single out of that. 2 for 3 so far today.
Number 6, Haley Kubiak.
The hero of last game, Kubiak. So far 4 for 4 in conference play. Going to try and continue that streak, 5 for 5. Can she tie the game up and get Malberg in? As the wind's blowing hard, Kubiak sets up for that bat and sends that in. Malberg's in. Tie game. Bottom of the 7th, 5-5. It's Kubiak. It sends her hit streak to 5 for 5 so far in conference play.
Who do you want to go with?
How many strikes did Kubiak have? Did you see?
18.
How many strikes did Kubiak have?
What is that?
1 strike.
Tell him, bro. Tell him.
What is that?
Keep grinding, man. You just a grind.
Sure.
Nah, man. They don't believe it. I got love for me. That's it.
Now Coach Ty Sharpley of the Rochester Warriors coming up to talk to Foy, who's pitched 7 innings so far today and done her best to keep Blue Devils at bay. Now number 18, Haley Mazan up to bat.
Yeah, where do you guys go, Bloomfield Hills? Where do you go on me?
Now with 2 on, Mazan has the chance to be the walk-off hero so far. 1 runner in scoring position, another one on.
Your mom's a sweetheart. Yeah, we love your mom. Your mom is a sweetheart. She has to deal with you. I feel bad for her. I want to deal with you. All right.
And Mazan getting her first ball of her at bat.
We all have. I have no clue who's even up the bat right now.
And Mazan getting a fast foul there over to the right side into the Warrior dugout.
No way. Oh my God.
I told your name unique too.
Swear to God, bro. That's, people name their kids unique.
Oh my God.
Mazan looking at a 1-1 count right now. And that one tips back.
Little video
Now looking at a 1-2 count with 1 out left in a 5-5 game in the bottom of the 7th. Can Mazan win this one for the Blue Devils? And Mazan sending that one foul again, really stretching this at bat out against Foy. Did you get it? Okay. Coach Baird giving Whelan on second the signs. And Mazan sets up for the 5th. She sends this one foul. It's a grounder. Can't you get there? And Rochester able to get out this inning without the Blue Devils walking off with a win as we go to the top of the 8th. We'll be back with LTSN. As the catcher Donaldson comes up to bat. See if she can add on to this Rochester lead, as it's still 5-5 game after the Blue Devils scored 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Tie the game up. And her sending that over to Malberg and over to Meredith for an easy out. Now, Ivory Mamo up to bat as Bolt sends that outside and low.
Can I ask what the pass has to say? Because I can make one. I mean, it's not hard.
I said you're good.
Just say, Tyrese, a.k.a. Reese.
What's up, man?
Righty versus righty as we look at a 1-1 count with 1 out so far. As the Blue Devils tallying up 16 hits so far today, and Rochester scoring 5 off of 8 and 2 errors. Or 1 error for the Blue Devils. And Bolt looking at a 3-1 count against Mamo so far. Has yet to walk anybody today, but does have 9 strikeouts so far on the day. And Mamo definitely been a target of those strikeouts so far today. Hasn't got a hit so far today and gets walked. Bolt throwing her first walk of the day.
Number 18, Mackenzie Muncie.
Now Muncie up to bat. Muncie not really able to do anything else either against Bolt, as Bolt has definitely been on today. And Memo being taken off the first base for number 6. Rachel Blom.
Alright, I'll go make one tomorrow on Microsoft Word. I'll send it to you. PDF form.
And Muncie sending that one foul as Blom with some speed off first base trying to get to second.
You ain't boxing to Detroit, you ain't boxing.
What's up, man? How you been?
Good, how have you been?
Hey, so what we gotta do to win the extra inning? We gotta just play the
It's called you just gotta get a score.
And looking at strike 2. Bolt trying to get to double digits in the strikeouts so far today. Trying to chase down Cherney's game high of 11. And that one sent wide. Looking at a 1-2 count on Muncie. And that one sent up and over the stands. So that goes foul. And Bolt able to get to 10 strikeouts so far today. 1 away from Cherney's game high of 11.
Number 9, Michaela Smoller.
And center fielder Smoller, who's also been a target of Bolt today with 2 strikeouts and a line out. See if Bolt can get through this inning. 1, 2, 3. That being ball 1.
So imagine when I go there and my face is like actually like I was trying to take you to the All-Star game. I was trying to like show you the love just reciprocated down there. But
Down where? Well, it wouldn't be down in the yak, it'd be up in the yak. You idiot.
let them know, bro.
As that one sent to shallow center field and caught by Mattingly. As Smoller able to get her first hit of the day.
There's no Earl note like a brief little sample size of what goes on.
Anybody can do anything on Facebook.
I only said what you told me to say.
44, Taylor Foy.
And as Taylor Foy steps into the box, pitcher on pitcher battle again. As Bolt goes to home, as the wild pitch gets past Katie Kubiak, telling Bolt that's her bad.
We got another walk on the grass. Where? Far side. Behind the left field tree there. And there she is. She's popped out. Oh, we got one deep back there. Oh, man, we got too many walkers now. Hope that van's died.
My phone just died on live, though. IG Live gonna be popping, boy.
And count going 2-0. And Bolt getting her first strike against Foy.
Maybe you and Earl can go on it together. You know, like Earl can host with you.
Yeah.
Then maybe you can get like Austin on there as well.
And Foy swing and a miss.
Austin looks like he's a
As Bolt having a 2-2 count so far. And it's still rally cap time as Foy able to get that. And it's a quick out, and Blue Devils able to get it out as Bolt still 1 away from the game high of Alexis Cherney with 11 strikeouts in a game. But Bolt able to get Taylor Foy able to ground out in the top of the 8th there and keep Rochester from scoring after 2 men were on. As we go into the bottom of the 8th, we'll be back with LTSN. And Kennedy Emmons comes back up after first at bat had a hit and helped with that 2-run bottom of the 7th inning. And let's see if she could do some damage here as we go into the bottom of the 8th. Still 5-5, and she looks at strike one from Foy. Baird and Sharpley both letting Bolton Foy go the distance so far today. And that being ball one.
He threw a crayon at you, so then you threw a book at him. What?
I call that fair. He shouldn't have threw the crayon in the first place.
Thank you. I mean, you could have thrown the crayon back. You didn't have to throw the damn book.
I had a kid push me, and I threw him over the slide in 3rd grade.
Man, Jesus. Aggressive out here.
And as Emmons looking at 2-1, had some dirt in her eye, a little windy today. So the wind's coming from right field over to left field with some power. And that being ball 3. And Emmons lining out to the first baseman. Emmons able to get a rip on it, but couldn't do anything with it. Now Sarah Hyde up to bat. 19-mile-an-hour wind so far today, and Hyde getting ball as she steps up for the slapper style, batter style. And Hyde's able to get on with a shot that goes into shallow left center. Now Katie Seister back up, who started at 5th inning. Yeah, with that 5th inning rally that started leading to the comeback of the Blue Devils. And Seister able to get a little bit on that, trying to get to it. And umpire saying that first baseman didn't come off the bag, and Seister just missing that by the half a step. Now up to bat is Meredith Adams, with Brittany Bolt right behind her. Adams and Bolt both able to get a hit. In that 5th inning. And Meredith Adams able to send that right back to the pitcher, and not able to get there as we go into the top of the 9th in extra innings. Blue Devils and Rochester both still 5-5. We'll be back with LTSN. And leading off the inning is number 16, Brittany Bolt. We're having some technical difficulties that last inning, but Rochester didn't score. And Brittany Bolt setting that right back up the center towards the pitcher, Taylor Foy, letting her know she means business.
Who is this now? What's the score?
17 Melbourne.
Score still 5-5 as the Blue Devils, who were down for most of this game and tied it up late in the 7th. Now Kendra Malberg up again, who had a hit in her last at bat. And that being ball one. And Malberg sends that deep center field.
Home run?
That's off the wall. And that being a ground rule double. Malberg having the chance to be the walk-off hero there. And the fence again, not letting her get it done. The wind could have been a factor on that, as it's been pushing hard all day. Now, Whelan up to bat with her last at bat, and then Kubiak behind her, who's on a 5 at bat hit streak in conference play.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was like $400 and shit I saw last time. The tickets are outrageous. They got Kodak for like 180, 190. I said, hell no, Kodak ain't worth no 200.
Now new pitcher, number 26, Alexis Evans. Seeing if she can get the Rochester Warriors out of this inning and give them a chance to get a run in the top of the 10th. But Bolt and Malberg in dangerous position, being on third and second, as Whelan, who's been good all day in the batter's box, has a chance to win this for the Devils. And as they break up, in comes Whelan, being one of the veteran leaders for this Blue Devil team. The sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia, has a chance to win this for the Devils again. As that's going inside as she just stares Evans down. One and 0 in the count. Whelan sending that deep into foul territory. Now Ty Searles, our student worker, able to go get that for us today, as he's been working all day trying to get those balls for us that go foul. That foul going deep left. As Whelan steps in again for a 1-1 count. And that one being popped up. Foul left again. That one's going to end up on the roof. We'll see if Ty can go get that one. Now Alexis Evans up 1-2 on the count against Brittany Whelan. But Whelan And the Blue Devils having 3 outs to get a run in.
Okay, yeah, I'm coming.
Yes.
So they changed,
Yeah. So
The-
just make her the pitcher.
and the other one is now. The one that was the pitcher now. Where is she?
No, great question.
Who is in
Can't,
second
you
base?
can't read.
Who is in second base?
You can't read those numbers in the front there because they don't have numbers in the front.
And Whelan sending that one foul left again.
Second base.
Hey, Earl, can you go see who's what numbers on second?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
17? 17.
No, I'm saying for
Not
them.
for us.
Yeah, I can't read the number.
Isn't it 96?
And Whelan sending this one left again.
96.
Yeah.
And as Alexis Evans, the second baseman, came in to pitch, number 96, Marlena Booth, the sophomore outfielder, came in from into second base from White Lake, Michigan.
How'd it go? All the balls on the roof.
And Whelan sending that one deep foul left again.
Foul left is like where the pitchers are pitching.
Yeah. So who's in there?
Alexis, and the catching.
Okay. Well, as long as somebody's in there, that's fine then.
But she said 2 of them on the roof.
Well, it looks like we have more people out there in the playing frisbee.
And Whelan strikes out as Alexis Evans gets her first strikeout of the day.
Was it swinging or?
Yeah, that's swinging.
Number 6, Katie Kubiak.
Now Katie Kubiak, who's been a bit of a hero so far for the Blue Devils in the game she's played in conference play.
Rips it.
And rips that into the first baseman's glove. Kubiak ending that 5-at-bat hit streak. Let's see if the center fielder, Jackie Mattingly,
Number 3, Jackie
can bring Bolt
Mattingly.
and Malberg home. And Jackie pulling back on that one. She goes for ball 1.
So the shot clock broke 10 minutes in as the wind caught it and flipped it off the table.
And Jackie
That's life.
tipping that one foul. Looking at a 1-1 count in the bottom of the 9th. As the Blue Devils have 2 on in scoring position. And Evans throwing her changeup. She's now up 1-2 in the count.
Let's just go to a bodega. What do you think, Ty? Bodega, get some chopped cheese?
Now 1-2 in the count with 2 outs.
Chopped cheese. At the bodega.
I don't know. I don't even eat cheese.
Bro, you don't know about chopped cheese.
Jackie looking at a 2-2 count with the ball there.
Chopped cheese and fried rice. Chopped cheese and the fried rice. Fried rice. Wide rice.
And Jackie strikes out swinging as Alexis Evans gets her second strikeout of the game.
You know, I really love these days.
As we go into the top of the 10th,
You better go call your sister right now.
Blue Devils and Rochester still both tied 5-5 with neither able to get a run in the last 3 innings. And as the first at bat comes in, number 5,
Sorry.
Autumn Dobrik.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. My bad. That's on me, honey boo.
Number 5, Autumn Dobrik.
And as Autumn Dobrik steps in, not much done today as Bolt throwing a ball. Was Bolt.
Ball.
That being a foul tip.
Ball. Strike, ball, strike. Strike, strike, strike.
We gotta be out of there at a certain time, don't we?
No.
Yep. If it get dark.
If it gets dark, it's on the umpire to call the game.
Oh, I hope he does. Hopefully not.
That being strike number 2.
It's not gonna get dark till like 8, 9 o'clock. We Gucci. Todd, can you close your mouth? That's really big. Yo, wash your cup.
And
Todd, you good?
that being 3 and 2.
What do you need? A what? Oh, okay. Earl,
Bolt
Cool, man.
for her second walk of the game.
you need a beer?
Hey, there's a pub right over there.
That's true. Bodega's right down the street. 20. Oh, yeah, you're counting 20.
Number 20, Lauren Donaldson.
Now the catcher, number 20, Lauren Donaldson, up to bat, trying to bunt. Katie able to catch that. And that being foul. And Malberg able to get that. As it was a bunt pop out to the third baseman. Now Ivory Mamo back up
Number 24, Ivory Mama.
after being walked in the top of the 8th.
Yes, this one at Motor City.
And Meredith Adams, they will tag Ivory out for the ground out. Now Blue Devils looking at 2 outs with the runner in scoring position on second.
Yeah, Muncie.
18.
Number 18, Mackenzie Muncie.
Now Muncie up to bat, who Bolt has definitely had it out for today. Not really letting her do anything so far today. And first pitch. And we ball.
Yo, I was telling Pick today, and Ty, man, I saw something on Snapchat. Some dude had like his mom or his like mother-in-law have his kid because his wife couldn't have kids. I'm like,
Kid probably came off the phone.
I was like, I don't know about that one. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, but
And this is pop out to the infield first baseman Meredith Adams, and Blue Devils able to get out of that inning without letting Rochester score. So we go into the bottom of the 10th. Game still tied 5-5. We'll be back with LTSN. As we come into the bottom of the 10th, Kennedy Emmons leading off the inning for the Blue Devils. She's 1 for 2 so far on the day since she came into play. And that one right down the pipe. Strike one. And this one pops out. And Kennedy able to get on and gets a double. But getting an error for that because of the second baseman not able to catch that. Easy pop out.
No, edit the error. For us. Edit home error.
Now CJ coming in for Kennedy as a pinch runner.
CC, thanks, bud. Who's this batting?
Hyde.
Oh?
I think Hyde. 11. Does it say 11? Yeah, 11. That's all.
As Sarah Hyde comes into bat now as we come back to the top of the order. With Seister on deck. See if Heister can get a hit here. And bunts down the line. And that ball going foul. And Hyde tipping that one foul. And Hyde's able to get that one, but goes foul. Just outside the line.
Oh my God, we're winning 14-3. Against the Ann Arbor. Women's lacrosse.
They what? They won?
No, we're winning 14-3.
And Hyde just pops this one to left, right center. And center fielder able to come away with that, keeping CJ Bannis at second base. That being the first out of the inning.
Wait, Vanna?
Now Seister up to bat.
Katie Seister.
This one grounding out to center. But Seister able to advance CJ.
Read the caption of the picture, okay? Oh my God, we have somebody new?
What happened with Chester?
And Meredith Adams up to bat. And sends that foul left into play.
So they are literally, how many strikes they got? They got 2 out?
They have 2 outs, yeah.
They literally need to hit this bitch straight up the gut. See, they need to run and dive in head first in the home plate.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to dive.
They gonna rush the, whatever fuck is called. Straight in the middle, what I tell you.
Straight up the middle. And the Blue Devils able to win in the bottom of the 10th as Meredith Adams hits the walk-off single.
Oh my God, Ty, you are amazing. You know, Ty?
As our worker, Ty Cyril, is able to call that right before Meredith Adam gets the hit, and the Blue Devils able to walk away in the win in Game 1. So at the bottom of the 10th, Blue Devils able to win 6-5, and we'll be back shortly with Game 2 against the Rochester Warriors.